What's your mortgage amount?
Yeah, something around 350.
So here's another option.
Yeah.
I could take over your loan.
Mm-hmm.
I can usually pay more if I do this, because let's say you sell it right now, even if you net 450, you got to pay off your loan. You're going to walk from with 100 because you got to pay off your loan. I got to look at the rents and things like that. But if I could cash flow, I could take over your loan. What kind of interest rate do you have?
It's very low, just like 3%.
Okay, so you got one of the great 3% loan, one of the old loans. Right. Hypothetically, now again, I don't know if I can do this, but if you sold it retail, netted out closing fees, let's say you walk with 100 grand. Well, what if I gave you 100 grand and took over your loan? You're going to get the same money either way. The only reason why I could possibly do that would be because I get to keep your 3% loan and I don't have to come up with all the cash.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's called buying the property subject to the existing loan. So we wouldn't change the loan. It would stay there and I would take it over. I'd be fully responsible for it. I don't know if I could do this, but if I could, I give you 100 grand cash. I take over your loan of 350. I get to keep your great interest rate. You walk with 100 grand and never look back. And it's as if you sold it and paid it off, but you didn't. I took it over.
Okay. And Jerry, I think, I don't know what you guys were told. This one is a rental property. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that. So what are you renting it for?
$3,200 every month. And I have a current lease until like next year.
$3,200. And what's your loan right now with that 3% rate?
Oh, it's something around like $1,800.
Is that counting insurance and taxes?
Oh, that excludes. So annual taxes is $9,700
a year.
And a year. HOA $600.
So you got $800 a month in taxes. You got $50 a month in HOA. What's your insurance?
The insurance is $305.
If you take $1,800 on your loan plus $800 taxes plus $50 HOA plus $305 insurance, you're at $2,955 and you're collecting $3,200. Is that what you said? Yeah, so it's not much. I mean, you're getting $250 basically.
Right, another thing is like the house is in a mint condition. You don't even have to touch it. You also have like a lease agreement until next year. And that guy has been staying for a long time. You're going to get the returns right away. It's not something like you also need to do any kind of renovation, cleaning, or all those stuff. So it's just like a lease transfer to you, and you're going to be the owner, and you're going to monthly. So
let me tell you how an investor would look at this.
Uh-huh.
I got to think about the cash I would give you to take over your loan to earn basically $3,000 a year in cash flow. You're making $245 a month in cash flow. So if I pick that up, I'd be making about $3,000 a year. And if I'm going to put cash in on that, then I need that cash to make at least 10%, which is about $30,000 in cash. So let me reverse it now. If I gave you $30,000 down to buy the property, and I want that $30,000 to earn a 10% cash on cash return, that would be about $3,000, which is what your annual cash flow is. So for me to buy your house, the most I could give you down in cash to buy it would be about $30,000. Is that you following me? Why? Because that $30,000 at 10% is $3,000, and $3,000 is your net cash flow on the property. So my $30,000 would be making me 10% return a year in the cash flow. So that makes the decision for me is the net cash flow. My cash has to make a return on investment. So I could take over your $350 loan, but the most I could put down would be $30,000. Now, what I could do, here's something that I do all the time, is let's say you want $100,000. I can only give you 30, but I could do a second position loan for 70,000, and then I have like 5 years to pay it off. And it's a no interest loan. It's just a lien on the property. So if I turn around and sell it a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, I would pay off your 350 that's existing already, and I'd owe you 70 on the second position loan on title. It's just recorded and sitting there waiting for a payoff down the road. So you'd get 30 now, 70 later, and I take over your loan.
I lost it quite a bit.
I can walk you through it again. I'll try to kindergarten it because I do this for a living, so it's second nature to me, but I want you to make sure you understand it. So think about it. Your loan right now with the bank for 350, they're in first position. So no matter what, they get paid first. So if you sell that property or I take over your loan and I sell it, that has to get paid first.
Okay, so here is, I'm just looking at my loan right now just to make sure. $3,200 is what the current loan is.
324. Okay, great. That's the balance. And what's your exact interest rate?
2.99.
2.99. And is that on a 30-year fixed?
Correct.
Okay, so 2.99, and that's on a 30-year fixed. Yeah.
1770 monthly.
1770. So about 275 is your net cash flow a month. So let me redo the math. 275 a month times 12 is 3,300 divided by 0.1 is 33,000 as the cash into the deal. So I'm going to walk you through it, okay? Let's say we agree on a price of 425,000. Now that's not quite what you could get if you sold it. See, here's the problem. You cannot sell it to a retail buyer with a lease in place. You have to wait till the lease runs out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because the lease is there first, so you can't kick your tenant out when they have a lease until next year. So the lease takes precedence over a sale. So you can't even list it and sell it right now. So you couldn't even get retail until the lease is up. You get them out. Then you're going to have to go in there and probably clean it up a little bit, to get it retail ready. Let's take that off the table. But let's say that you're like, hey, Jerry, if I could sell the property as an investment for $425, I take over your loan of $325. So now I owe you $100,000, right?
Yeah.
But I can't pay you the 100 all up front. Otherwise, I wouldn't make enough money on the cash. So I'm going to give you $30,000 now and $70,000 in the next 5 years. How do I make sure you get the $70,000? Well, it's a lien on the property. So there's no way I could sell the property without paying you the $70,000. And if I don't pay it at the end of 5 years, I'm in default and you take back the property and you keep the money I've paid you so far. That's how you're protected.
Yeah, I totally get it, right? You must be a big investor, but I'm a very small person, man. I just work just like a paycheck to paycheck. I can best offer I could give you. So give me like $200K and take the house with the same interest rate.
If I took over your loan of $325 and pay you $200, I'd be paying $525.
At one point, my house value was something around $750, and this is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath.
I'm looking at two websites. Both are exactly the same. Redfin's calling it 523. Zillow's calling it 529. So, I mean, you're right there. It's not going to be much more or less. I don't know that things are going to be going up or down. I mean, if I look at the trends since 2024, your neighborhood is trending down. In 2024, you were at 581. Now you're at 529. So maybe, but I take that risk. That's the risk I take. I mean, we could comp it. It doesn't really matter because you have a locked-in tenant. So it's not like I can do something else to make more money. I have to keep your existing rental. The only thing I can do is make $275 a month for the next year. At that point, I could get the tenant out and see if I could sell it for more. But going back to what you said, let's say that we could make $525 work. Like, let's say I said, okay, I can pay you $525. Mm-hmm. You would have to be flexible to get $30,000 now and the other $170,000 in time.
Right, but you're saying like 5 years. Come on, that's too much. Like 5 years is way too long.
But the thing is I need to give the market time to come up, because if I have to pay off $525 just to sell it, I'm going to have another 10% in cost. So I'd have to sell it for $583 to net $525 because I'm going to have to pay commissions, closing fees, and all the things. So I need time for the market to go up so that I can sell it and pay off the $525 investment I made. If you want $525 and I got to wait for the market to appreciate, it's got to go all the way to $583, which it could, but what if it doesn't? And now I owe you this money. That's why I need 5 years. I need time to pay down the loan. I need time to increase the value. I need time for things to go up. Everything's about choice and options. Right. Your only other option is to wait till the tenant lease expires, don't renew it, kick them out, put it on the market, and try to sell it then.
So here is the deal. Okay, why not we do this? Tenants are very flexible. If I ask them, give a notice within a month or two, they're ready to vacate, and I have that flexibility with them. Are you okay to pay me the $200,000 if I just had them to move out within the next 2 months?
Well, no, because let's say they move out and I buy it, I take over your loan, I give you $200,000. What am I doing with the property now to make money? I'm going to rent it for the same renter you have now and be right back in the same situation. I can't sell it because I got to sell it for $585 to get back my investment, and that's not even making a profit. So that doesn't make sense either. How do I make money if I pay you $200,000?
It's a good question. So you're the investor, you know better.
Well, I'm telling you, I can't. If I'm only making $3,000 a year in cash flow and I pay 200 grand, then I'll tell you what my return on investment is. So 3,000 divided by 200 grand, I'm making 1.5% return on my money. I can make more than that in the bank.
Right, I totally get it. So if you wanted to seriously think about it and get back, let me know. And I'll also seriously think of from my end and we'll get back to you.
What I'm trying to help you understand, there is no other options. I can pay you a lot more money than cash. If I can't make a 10% return on giving you cash, I talk to people like you every single day. I'll go buy something else that makes me 10% or more. Those are your only options. Would be get that tenant out of there, put it up for sale in the open market. But remember, for you to get 200,000, you have to sell this for 585,000 because after you pay closing fees and commissions and pay off your loan, that would net you 200. And I don't know that you can get that. Maybe you can, but that would be what you'd have to do to try to get that. If you want 200, that's your best path to get it. It's not your fastest or easiest. It's just your highest probability of getting more money. But if I'm right and you can only sell it on the open market for 525 and you have about 10% cost with commissions and closing fees, that's 472 minus your 325 loan, you would get around 150. So I would look at it like this. If you sell it on the open market, worst case, you get 100 in your pocket. Best case, you get 200 in your pocket. You sell it to an investor like me, you can get the 200. You're just going to have to stretch it out over 5 years so it makes sense to an investor.
Okay, here is the thing. So when you say wait for another 5 years, how does it work?
It just sits as a lien on the property. And then I have all the way from now until 5 years to pay you that balance of 170. But it's due in 5 years. So I have to pay it off by then. Now I could pay it off sooner if I sell the property or I refinance or I could pay it off at any time, but I have 5 years to pay it off.
Oh, okay.
So worst case, you get 30 today, 170 in 5 years. You could get it sooner, but just plan on it going all the way to the end just in case. So that's all. You'd have to wait to get the rest of it. But it's a lien, it's on the property, and you're going to get it. You just got to wait for it versus if you try to sell it, maybe you only make 100. Maybe you make 120, maybe you make 150, maybe you make 200. That's a risk you're going to have to take if you go that route.
What is your final offer?
My final offer?
Mm-hmm.
My final offer is exactly what you want. 525, 30,000 down, 170 in 5 years on the remaining balance of the 200 cash, and I take over your loan that's already there. Now I'm paying full price. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I only have to come up with 30 grand. I get to keep your tenant. I get to keep your interest rate. I get to keep your loan, and I have 5 years to pay you the rest of the 170. That's the only reason why I would pay 525. If I got to pay all cash, I got to be at 340. And you understand why. The cash has to get a deal. So it goes like this. If I pay all cash, I need a steep discount. If you're willing to wait to get some or all of your money, I can pay a lot more because you're giving me terms. So I have flexibility now. I can get into the deal a lot easier because I don't have to come up with all the money. I'm only coming up with 30 grand to get into the deal instead of 340,000 to get into the deal.
Yeah, I don't think 5 years is way too long, Jerry. So I'll think about it and we'll get back to you.
I just want to make sure you understand the reasoning behind why I'm coming to the numbers I'm coming to. It's very logical. There's no ambiguity here. It's very clear. Cash has to make a return. Let me take over your loan. I'll give you some cash now. That covers the return on investment. The rest of it, give me 5 years to pay you. That gives me time for the market to go up. I have enough room now to pay everybody off and get you your 170. It's very cut and dry. It shouldn't be unclear. It should be super clear. If not, I'll explain it again.
So, yeah, let me think about it and we'll get back to you. I totally get what your offer is.
You've got the options there. So if you can make that work, we could put this together.
Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
okay.
I'll seriously think about it.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Jerry. Nice.
Appreciate you. Bye.